Buddy, one of my customers has a 2008 Ford Ranger little truck here, and you know I thought I've seen everything. I've worked on these cars. Here's the VIN. Let me see if I can get a good picture of that VIN. There we go. That should work. But anyway, I'm gonna file a claim with Murray. You know, I've been working on these cars for dadgum over 35 years, and I'll show you what I got here. And this is a high mileage truck, you know, and about 2 months ago, he was having oil consumption and wanted me to overhaul the motor, so I did. I overhauled the motor. That's been about 2 months ago. And he called me. He was driving down the freeway to his work at AT&T Stadium, and he'd called me and told me that on his way to work, he was driving on the freeway, he heard a noise, and the engine overheated. So I checked it out, and this motor don't even have 5,000 miles on it yet. But what had happened, and I thought I've seen everything, this dadgum Murray, well, whatever brand, whatever it is, you know, I bought it down there at the local auto supply. You know, when I do a motor, I like to replace some of the parts, and I put a brand new water pump on it. You know, I didn't want to put the old one back on here. I was afraid, you know, I put it on here and that young thing start leaking or something. You know, I try to avoid anything to keep a vehicle from overheating or any of that stuff to do engine damage, and that's what happened. It damaged this dadgum water pump. Look at this, broke. It's broke, and I thought I've seen it all. That dadgum thing, the whole thing broke. When it broke, it fell down. A piece of it that stayed bolted to the motor. This piece. And this broke off and fell down on the harmonic balancer, and I can't. Yeah, you see, it's a silly thing just broke. Craziest thing I ever seen. Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen a water pump just break like this. But after further looking at it, it was the molding of the water pump, the way the casting is. Right here is a weak point on this particular water pump, and I got a different brand water pump this time put on there. I got a genuine Motorcraft, and it didn't have that seam that this one had originally. It had some kind of seam around this part of it up here, right up there, some kind of seam, but that's where it broke at. I kept thinking something caused it to break. There's nothing that caused it to break. It was just dadgum water pump. But anyway, the end of the story here, the thing overheated and blowed this head gasket on number 2 cylinder. It blowed the dadgum head gasket. So because of that water pump, I had to go back in this brand new motor with less than 5,000 miles on it. Of course, I got, you know, a Motorcraft water pump this time. I sure wasn't going to go back with that brand that I put on there. And of course, I had to pull this right cylinder head off and replace that head gasket, all because of the water pump. I tell you, these dadgum cars, they can be frustrating, and especially when you get bad parts. All right. We'll talk to y'all later.